All right, let's see Felix Agentic in action. If this is your first time meeting Quantimetric, I do want you to know what Quantimetric has been helping customers with for so many years. Quantimetric really was designed to help people bridge the gap between what's happening with their digital experiences and why it's happening. And we've done that by essentially capturing everything the user sees, everything they do, and everything that happens to them, and then giving you easy ways to quantify and visualize that so you can get to the bottom of why. Now, as Mario mentioned, Felix Agentic is going to help us do that from here on out as the analyst, the agent, and the partner. Let's talk about the analyst. I think about the story that Mario told about the 8 people that lost their Sunday to wire conversions down, and it ended up being a non-issue. And I think, what would I do if I was in their shoes? Now, with Felix Agentic, my analyst, I'll just ask it the question, why are sales down? Now, not that Felix doesn't trust you, but Felix is going to do a quick fact check on if sales are truly down. And then it's going to gather a little bit of facts about the whole situation. From there, it's going to hand off to this thing called the investigation planner. Now, the investigation planner takes your original question, it takes the facts it gathered, and it has access to a team of specialized agents to go drill down and figure out why are sales down. And these agents, you can think of them just like your organization. It could be a marketing agent that looks at campaign performance and promotional performance, referrer traffic. It could be a technical agent or specialist that looks at API health, page performance, errors. There could be merchandising specialists, promotion specialists, you name it, right? Just like your org, drilling down, figuring out why from every angle. And when Felix completes its analysis, and you can see all the specialized agents are completed, we can see that it got right to the bottom of the issue. It is a promotional page where all the items are out of stock. Just like that, our Sunday's saved. Now, the thing I really love about this is it also goes a step further and tells us about the non-issues. So it's great that it pinpointed the issue, but it helps me build a bit more trust when it tells me, hey, we checked the technical stuff too, everything's fine. So that's the analyst. What about the agent? Well, some of you are probably asking, why did I even have to ask the question, why are sales down? Why didn't Felix do that for me proactively and save my Sunday? And that's exactly why we built background agents. Agents do exactly what it sounds like they do. They run in the background, doing the analysis, monitoring, and asking the questions that you care about. Now, I've got my background agent set up here to monitor the key experiences across my entire journey. I've got one for search and browse, which is kind of my top of funnel agent, checking if homepage and PLP and PDP are good. And I've got one here for checkout monitor, checking if the funnel's okay, if payment types are working as expected, shipping selections. I've also got this account management and loyalty one that if we click and expand this last elevated run, it says it found a redeem points issue for our gold tier members on iOS, right? Really kind of weird segment of a segment of a segment that we wouldn't have had our eyes on. Now I'm using it to monitor my experiences, but you could do something just like every Monday, we release a new version of the homepage and I just want to report, is the new content performing as we expected? That's the beauty of background agents. The analyst is really cool. I can go back and forth to the analyst. I can discover, I can explore and ask questions. But the agent, it helps me scale my team to be doing all the analysis we wish we were doing around the clock. That's the analyst and the agent. But Mario said Felix was also a partner. What did he mean? And what would it even mean to be a good partner? Now, I'd love Felix to be able to just answer every question perfectly every single time. And we can teach it to be a great user of Quantimetric, and we can teach it to be an analyst the way we think, but it actually needs to think the way you think. And that's why we made Felix completely transparent and adaptable. Anytime you ask a question of Felix, you can completely audit the responses. And if there's anything that you think needs adjusted to think more like you can give it instructions. Let's use an example, right? Let's think about conversion rate. Conversion rate is something that everybody thinks about a little bit different, but it has to get it right the way you think about it every single time. So if we walk through the example, I'll just ask Felix, how is my conversion rate? Now, Felix is just going to go and it's going to make a basic query analytics call. And as I said before, it's completely auditable. So when this comes back, it's going to show me a conversion rate that I don't recognize. I might say, that doesn't really look like my conversion rate. That's okay, because we can actually inspect it, and using natural language, we can see exactly how it was calculated. Here, it was calculated by the converted sessions over sessions. It's not bad, it's just not how I think about it. The way I think about it is converted users over users. So what do? Well, I'll just scroll down and I'll click the Add Instruction button here. And in here, I will say conversion rate is the unique converted users divided by users. Now, I'll review this. It'll extract the important things and entities out of that we'll be using later. And I get to decide if this is something that Felix remembers about me as a user, whether it goes into my team workspace, or if it goes into our entire Quantimetric subscription level. And when we submit that, we can then come back, whether it's in this chat session or a week from now, doesn't matter, and ask it that same question. How is my conversion rate? And we should expect that it uses that instruction. Here we see it came back. I can already see the conversion rate is elevated, so I know it's different. And when we inspect the query, there we see it's now using users rather than sessions. That's why Felix, the partner, is my favorite part. For Felix to be great, it has to be a part of your team. And just like you would expect with a new analyst, it has to learn and grow with you over time. Now, what we've shown you today, Felix the analyst, the agent, and the partner, that's what you should expect from Felix when you first get your hands on it. And it's gonna be great. But we're not stopping there. And I really feel like I need to show you where this is all going. If you think about what Quantum does, right? It's all about signals and understanding. But it's for action. So why would we stop at understanding? So let me give you an example. At Quantimetric, we have this error message that we call the yellow screen of death. It's like your oops or sorry, something went wrong message. And using Quantimetric on Quantimetric, we track every occurrence of this error. Now, we've adopted AI coding technologies just like everybody else, and we would love it if Claude could just go fix all the yellow screens of death. The problem is, Claude doesn't have the signals or the context that led up to the yellow screen of death. So, while we were building Felix Agentic, our engineering team said, why wouldn't we just have Felix as an MCP server in Claude? And we can get Felix with the signals and the context to feed that to Claude, and they'll fix it together, right? So here you can actually see that we're just asking Felix within Claude, hey Felix, go find the top occurrences of our yellow screens of death. When you do that, I need you to watch the session replays for those users it happened to and give us the signals, the context, and the reproduction steps that led up to those yellow screens of death. And with those signals and context, Claude goes and fixes it automatically. Now, we're using it to fix our errors, our yellow screens of death. But you could imagine a lot of other scenarios where it takes action. Think about the story we told earlier, right? The promotion problem. Why would I continue to spend marketing dollars sending people to a site where the promotion products are out of stock? Why wouldn't we just have Felix trigger an action to say, hey, we think you should pause your spending? Or what if we just determined that on the homepage, the 5th or 6th section down the page is way outperforming the 2nd or 3rd? Why not send a signal to the CMS platform or A/B testing platform to say, you should move these around? We are really excited by Felix Agentic. It is the new pace of connecting digital experience understanding to action.